Hey everyone, Andrew here with ACR Protect. Thanks for stopping by. First, been out of pocket for a minute. You can probably hear I've been battling a summer cold, so bear with me. If you can't stand the overly nasally voice, just don't watch this video. Next, I was trying to get something out over the weekend, but I was just under the weather, and I felt like shit, and I was like, I'm gonna end up like coughing or blowing my nose or doing something fucking stupid on this video, and just, it'd be gross, right? So happy belated Father's Day to all the dads out there, dads and single parents. Those of you, the moms that are doing double duty, yeah, you should get some attention on this holiday too, just like the single dads should get some attention on Mother's Day. Hardworking folks out there, providing for your family, for your kids, and then you're working and you come home and you've got all the stuff you do at home, whether it be cooking dinner or changing diapers or spending time with your kids. Good on you. Way to be a good parent. We need more good parents out there. So thank you to all you good dads, and happy belated Father's Day. So today's topic, EDC, magazine / ammunition. How much do you carry? Do you base it on, the amount of ammunition specifically, or the amount of magazines? I think that's definitely a factor. If you're carrying a small pocket pistol that only holds 5 or 6 rounds, you need to have at least one more mag, in my opinion, maybe a couple. But if you're carrying a full-size gun, I mean, look at some of these full-size guns now. These pistols, you can get with like magazine extensions and everything, 20 to 25 rounds per mag. Right there, like that's wild. That's great. I think it's awesome. If you feel comfortable carrying that, it's a big gun, So, I wanted to bring this up as more of just a conversation and to get people thinking, because let me tell you something. I don't know if there's a right answer. Personally, there's what I do, and what I encourage people to do, but that doesn't mean it's right. It's a theory. You're trying to figure out all the different scenarios that you may come into. I don't know. Now, want everyone to understand, this is for EDC purposes, like your personal protection on your everyday carry. This topic, like when you talk like mags and ammo and like how much to carry, this gets people riled up about as much as like, should you carry a 1911, or a polymer, or 45 or 9, or it can really rattle the crowds a little bit. So I because there's a lot of stuff, people into the whole preparedness and Minuteman theory and all that stuff, which I think is great, and I think that's an entirely different topic. I think it's great that you're preparing for that, but let's face it, for the most part, for your EDC stuff, if you're living in town, suburbs and stuff like that, your primary weapon is your pistol. And I know all the catch. Well, I have my pistol to get to my rifle. I get that. Not going to argue with you on these points, folks. I'm just not. I get it. Yeah, if I can have a rifle in a fight over a pistol, yeah. But guess what's easier to conceal? This, right? That's easier to conceal. So, let's think about this for a minute. Like I said, I mentioned, the different guns, the different mags, the different sizes. I'm going to show a couple of mine right here. Like, I'm going to take this out of my handgun here. This is the one I just switched to. So y'all know my primary carry is a Glock 19 Gen 5 with night sights. I don't have an optic on there or anything. I do have guns with optics. I have a couple of handguns with optics, and rifles with optics, but I'm just not to the point where I want to have that be my primary carry gun with an optic. That's just me. Right now, I'm faster with iron sights. That's just me. Not that I don't think I can get better with an optic. I'm sure I can. It just takes practice. I just haven't had enough time with it. I'm fast with this. That's just it. But I've been carrying it's a standard Glock mag, but then this extension is +5. So right now in my handgun, I've got 21 rounds, I'm sorry, because one in the pipe. So 21 rounds. My spare, because typically on my person, I carry one spare mag at a minimum, one spare mag. And it does range in size because it depends on the type of clothing that I'm wearing and the type of environment I'm going into. A lot of the times my spare mag is just another Glock mag, or this is actually a Magpul mag, but it's a 17 round mag. And what's nice about the 17 round mags, it doesn't matter if you're carrying a Glock 19, a Glock 26, a Glock 45, Glock 17. 17 round mag will fit in all of them every single time. Now, if your standard carry is, the 15 round mags, and you happen to be carrying your 17 that day, you're gonna fall short. It's not gonna work. So, at a minimum, I have a backup of 17 rounds, which gives me a total of 37 rounds on my person, right? Sometimes I have just a 15 round Glock mag. Sometimes I have, what is this? This one is 21 round, all right? It's actually about the same size as this one. That's with the extended mag there. And it sticks out a touch more. I don't know if you can see that on camera. More about the mag design there, but 21 round. And then I've also got these 27 round Magpul Glock mags. And I tell you, I know some people are pretty particular about their magazines and stuff. Again, I'm a Glock guy. That's why I like to carry. There's a lot of other good guns out there, SIGs and Springfields and Kimbers and Smith & Wesson. I'm not going to keep naming them off, but there's a lot, And then there's the ones that suck, and we all know what those are. And if you don't, hit me up in the comments. I'll help you out. Make sure you don't buy some garbage. But that's my typical loadout is my handgun plus one mag on my person. Now, we talked about the different scenarios. It really kind of comes down to me. With me, it comes down to what is your mission, right? For everyday carry. Everyday carry, what's the mission? Well, the mission for me is just to not even be in a scenario where I need my handgun. I mean, that should be everyone's motto, mind your own business, don't pick fights, gray man, whatever you want to call it. All that being said, sometimes trouble just comes to you. And it's, somebody wants what you have. Maybe it's your wallet, maybe it's your phone, maybe it's your car, whatever. And that's why we carry, right? Because we don't want to be that victim. We don't, we're trying to protect our possessions, our family, our friends, and I'll tell you, the crimes these days, they're becoming more violent. It's crazy. Like the people just cook you just to so there's no witness, right? And what if you're with your wife or your kids or your husband or your mom and dad? No, that's why we're carrying these, right? Just so you know, I'm gonna keep fucking throwing that up there just to piss off YouTube, because they hate this shit, don't they? They really do. But that's why we're carrying, right? For personal protection and for the protection of our loved ones, right? Again, we're trying to stay out of these situations as best we can. Like I'm a really nice guy. I like to keep to myself. I'm friendly. Yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, thank you. Please. excuse me, I'm that guy. I'm nice until it's no longer time to be nice, and that's just it. And I think most of us are like that. It's one of those, if a couple people are arguing over some stuff, I don't really want to be around that. I'm not trying to, have my kids around that, and people start throwing punches and all, like people get hurt over stupid shit, right? So we're all trying to avoid it. And that's probably, I've kind of got off on a whole nother thing there. But we're kind of coming back to the mission. The mission is we're trying to get home, right? Like, or just continue on doing what we're doing. We're trying to get to work or go to the grocery store or go home or whatever, right? We're not set up, at least for me, primarily as an everyday carry. I'm not in the capacity of like a law enforcement officer or a security officer or someone in the military, where sadly chances of conflict are more likely, right? I'm not, you see law enforcement now. I know when I was doing more stuff like that, you'd have a mag in the gun and then you'd carry 2 backup mags, right? That was, especially like my time in the military, we carried the Beretta, so it was, 15 round mags, right? 45 rounds. That was it. Have you seen law enforcement these days? Like they'll have like 4 or 6 backup mags, between their belt or maybe like a plate carrier or chest rig or something like that. And I'm not knocking it, because that's you gotta, it's just you sometimes, and you got to be able to hold out in the fight for however long you can. Again, we're coming back to our mission. Like, my mission is to disengage. Like I'm not trying to G.I. Joe or John Wick anything here. Like, it's the scenarios that I'm typically thinking of are general robberies and acts of violence like that, where it could be between 1 and 3 assailants, right? Because that's the thing. It's no longer like some dark alley with some dude with a knife. Like, there might be a couple folks there, a couple folks with guns that have bad intentions. And so, once you start shooting, I get it. Like, rounds start going off pretty quick, and you hit empty faster than you think. You really do. But it also comes back to that training. If you're training right, and you're going to the range, and you're practicing your marksmanship, and you're practicing engaging in multiple targets at varied distances, you're enhancing your probability of getting out of some of these situations better than others. So it does come back to that. But that's my scenario. That's my thinking. And I would like to think that with 37 rounds, if I've got 1 to 3 assailants, bad guys, whatever you want to call them, I'd like to think that's going to be enough. Now, is it? I don't know. Quite frankly, I don't really want to find out. I'm trying to just stay under the radar. That's what I say that term all the time at work. Like, I am always trying to be under the radar. Like, I don't want to blip on that at all. I just boom, don't even know I'm there. Not for anything good, not for anything bad, just off the radar, right? So that's my thinking. Now, do I have additional magazines and ammo within proximity of me? Yeah. All right. So we all know we have our everyday carry bags, or bug out or get home bags. Do I have more ammo in there? Yeah. Yep. And I carry 2 bags, and I've talked about that in other videos. I have my my dedicated get home bag, which is another system. Please check out that video. I'm not going to do the point and say where it is. I only got a couple videos out, so you can find it. And then I also have my everyday carry bag that has like my laptop and stuff like that. And I've got extra mags in there, right? I keep extra mags in my vehicle. I've got extra mags all over my house. Like, it's one of those, I'm 99.9% of the time I'm carrying a Glock. And of those times, 99.9% of the time it's the 19. That's just it. I've got other guns, but that's the one that I roll with and I train with and I use all the time. And so I base everything based on that. And that's just what works for me. So I'd be curious to get everyone's opinion in the comments. Please share. Let me know what you think. Like I kind of opened it when you're with I can't even finish the sentence. When I opened the conversation, I was talking about if you had a smaller handgun like a Pocket 9 or something like that, or a 380 that only has 6 rounds. Is that enough? I don't know. Generally, once bad guys find out that you're not going to be a victim, more often than not, they're going to bolt. Now, I'm not saying that's the case every time. I'm not. But if you watch a lot of different videos, I'm going to throw out like active self-protection. I'm sure you've heard of that channel. If not, go check him out. He's awesome. He's huge. He's got a crap ton of people following him. He's got a lot of good information, and he puts out really good stuff. And just, I watch his videos, they make me think. But just watching those, most of the time when the good guys engage with the bad guys typically bolt, especially in like the petty crime arena. Once they find out that they're not just messing with somebody that's just gonna fold and give them all their stuff, that's actually gonna fight back, they don't want any part of that, thankfully. So maybe 6 rounds is enough with the backup mag. You start pop, and you get some rounds on target, and they bolt. I tell you, carrying something's better than carrying nothing. But at that point, if you're carrying like a little pocket pistol, and you have to carry 6 mags to keep the capacity up of 2 mags that I'm carrying with my system, it's maybe you should just carry a bigger gun. But also know it has to do with your clothing, depending on what you're wearing. It's hard to carry a full-size gun wearing tank top and surf shorts. A pocket pistol works. But like I said, I really just wanted this to be a conversation where you get to thinking about that stuff. How much are you carrying? Are you carrying your handgun with you all day? Like when you go to these places, when you go out to the store, when you run to the convenience store, the gas station, are you carrying? You should be, because it's a crazy place out there. And I want y'all to be safe. I want y'all to go home every day and not be the victim, because you're right. Go through the proper channels, get your license to carry or concealed handgun license wherever you are, dependent on the rules and regulations of your state and local municipalities. I encourage you to get that and carry, and then think to yourself, how much should I carry? How many rounds should I carry? How many mags? Think about that. So that's all I got today, folks. Wasn't super exciting. Not a whole lot of show and tell, just some mags and some food for thought. So you take care. My best to you and your families. Until next time.